Ecclesiastes 9 verse 10, just continuing on the subject of diligence, the third part. Whatever your hand finds to do, do it with all of your might, for there is no work or service or knowledge or wisdom in Sheol, the place of the dead, where you are going. So God commands man to work and to steward resources wisely. Frugality honors God by preventing waste and ensuring provision for others. For example, Joseph stored grain in Egypt against famine. This was wise diligence. It saved nations. In Genesis chapter 41, verse 48 to 54, and he gathered up all the surplus food of the 7 good years in the land of Egypt, and stored up the food in the cities. He stored away in each city the food from the fields around it. And Joseph gathered grain as the sand of the sea, very much until he stopped counting, for it could not be measured. Wow. Now to Joseph were born 2 sons before the years of famine came, whom Asenath, daughter of Potipherah, the priest of On, bore to him. And Joseph called the firstborn Manasseh, making to forget, for God said, He has made me forget all my toil and hardship and all my father's house. And the second he called Ephraim, which means to be fruitful, for he said, God has caused me to be fruitful in the land of my affliction. When the 7 years of plenty were ended in the land of Egypt, the 7 years of plenty, of scarcity, and of famine began to come, as Joseph had said they would. And famine was in all the surrounding lands, but in the land of Egypt there was food. By the way, Egypt, we're talking about the Egypt that is in Africa. May God remember Africa once again. Now, how can we make application to this? We need to be diligent in spiritual growth, in our prayer, our study, and obedience. We need to be diligent in daily work, that's faithfulness. In small things, it prepares for greater. We need to be diligent in our relationships. Love must be intentional and enduring, not fake. We need to be diligent in holiness, guard against compromise and impurity. We need to be diligent in teaching. We need to build up others through truth and example. And our memory verse for today is, the hand of the diligent shall bear rule, but the slothful shall be under tribute. That's in Proverbs chapter 22, verse 24. Now, some reflection questions. Am I diligent in the things of God or distracted by worldly pursuits? What areas of my life require renewed focus and commitment? Can the Lord count me faithful in the work He has entrusted to me? As I conclude, if you have nothing to do here, don't do it. And I'd like to pray as I conclude. Heavenly Father, grant me a heart like Jesus, steadfast, disciplined, devoted. Deliver me from idleness, distraction. Strengthen my hands for your work, my mind for understanding, my spirit for perseverance. May my labor in you never be in vain. Grant me a heart like Jesus, steadfast, disciplined, and devoted. Deliver me from idleness and distraction. Strengthen my hands for your work, my mind for understanding, and my spirit for perseverance. May my labor in you never be in vain. And may I be found faithful and fruitful in every good work. In Jesus' name I do pray and believe. Amen.